Hello, it is another edition of Gist with Top Accolade, and on this edition, we will be discussing the several military coups in Africa. Concerning that, it has really been a lot of concern to the public recently about the several military coups that has transpired in Africa recently. The first in Nigeria and another that is just happening in Gabon. It is a bone of contention, a place of concern for everyone. So, with us on the show today, a very important person, introducing an expert in strategic management, Dr. Emmanuel. You are welcome to the show today with us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
So, still speaking on military coups, several military coups in Africa has really raised concerns, and that is why we are here to get some details about the reasons behind these coups. So, over to you, sir. We want to just give you the floor to say some few things.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anywhere you are hearing us from. I think before we start talking about some of these reasons for this coup taking place in African nations, I think it's pertinent to discuss some of the impact. When we know the impact, it will help us to provide solutions to the problem. So,
Okay.
one of the significant impact of this military regime that is coming up here and there in different African nations has to do with the negative effect of it on the economy.
The negative effect of it on economy.
On the economy.
Okay. So if I want to buttress the point in here, that what would likely be the economic impact of the recent happening of this several coups in Africa, what would be the economic impact?
There are a lot of negative economic negative impact on the economy. For example, military takeover in any nation, be it in Africa, Asia, Caribbean, Europe, or any other part of the world, has tendency to create uncertainty and political instability. Has a tendency to create uncertainty and political instability. And this goes a long way to discourage potential investors.
Okay.
That is one of the significant economic impact. It goes a long way to discourage investors, both local and international investors. If my country is in turmoil, I don't think I will have courage to bring out my hard-earned savings to put it in investment, because the possibility is there that I don't know what may become
the outcome of
the outcome of the situation. Okay. Will the new military government come up with a policy that will promote business and industrialization, or will they come up with a policy that will stifle the economy? So I have to restrain and keep be on the fence to watch out.
The balance.
Yes. So the next one is that it triggers economic flight, capital flight. If there is a constant, consistent increase in military takeover in different African nations, one of the impact is the capital flight.
The capital flight.
Yeah, because the citizens who have money to invest in the country will look for a safer place.
A safer place.
A safer place.
So you're trying to say they are afraid?
Yes.
Of the military?
Yeah, they are afraid because now the money that's supposed to be retained in the country is now carried out to go to other places. For example, let's take Niger Republic that is currently in vogue. Now, if any Nigerian, as we call them, or a foreigner who wants to come and invest will not have that confidence.
Will not have that
Will not have
confidence.
that confidence.
Just because of the ongoing.
Then the citizens as well also will not have confidence, and this will lead them, those who are actually eager to have their money, producing money for them,
Okay.
to carry their capital and go to another place where they feel safe and secure to invest.
So if we want to adopt
Yes.
to that advantage of probably their fear
Yes.
towards investing in a military regime.
Yes.
So what would we say is the cause of Africa going back to the military regime when they know it is even not what they want?
The fact remains that no country in the world wishes for a military regime.
Okay.
No country in the world. And that is why when there's a military takeover, we see some international community raising sanctions.
With sanctions immediately.
Yes. Because they want the military government is regarded as illegitimate government.
So
It's no government that is appointed by the will of the people. It's government that is imposed on the people
forcefully.
forcefully by some group of disgruntled elements in the military.
Okay.
So if you look at it now, but anytime there's a military takeover of government, they usually come up with a one flimsy reasons
Or excuse.
They may call it, they may look at it because the economy is bad, people are suffering, this and that is taking place, and they want to offer ourselves as agent of change to change the situation. That is why we are coming up. So, but if you look at it, even if you look at it critically, you discover that even the military, if they take over, they don't actually
Give that change.
bring that change. You see a perpetuation of what was the status quo before they came in.
The same repetition.
It's a repetition of the same event that was taking place.
Okay.
So why should the people?
So should we say that the military regime
Yes.
on its own cannot come in legitimately into a system?
No, in politics, power legitimizes itself. Yes.
Autopilot.
Yes, because if, as it is now, if the military take over, you understand, they become responsible for the economy of the country. They become responsible for decision. Any decision they made about the country is binding. So automatically become a legitimate government. It's like, will I say, illegitimate legitimate.
that is a whole lot.
You understand? So you see that, like now, if the military is in power, though that is not the wish of the people, and though that's not the wish of the international community, but they are held responsible for everything that goes on, whether good or bad. So automatically they're legitimate.
Okay, well, when you spoke about the economic aspect,
Yes.
and it boils down to checking in if ever will Africa be economically independent with having a military rule, and even though they can, how can that be possible?
It's not possible.
At all.
It's not possible. So you don't use military to achieve economic independence.
So it's like word and opposite contrast.
Yes. Do you know why you cannot use the military? When military comes in, military concentrate in defense. And of course, military is not the culture for politics.
But they went through a series of discipline to give them that.
Yes. Military is not culture for politics. Military is culture for defense and protection of the territorial integrity of the nation.
And that
they are not cultured to get involved in economic administration, economic management. You understand? So it's like when somebody, this is not your core area of orientation, and you dabble into it, you are bound to make mistakes. You understand? So
I think that is the prior reason why
you are bound to
they
make
are
mistakes.
regarded as illegitimate.
Yes. So now, I don't think it's possible.
Because people might think,
even though, do you know why? When military take over, what do? They suspend the constitution. And what is the constitution? Constitution represents the will of the country.
okay.
Now you are coming to suspend the common will of the people. And then you are bringing the will of few, or if not one person, and call it a decree. And with that, you suppress politics. You have political suppression.
Okay.
Anybody that talk, you send your boys to go after the president.
Democracy also.
That's suppressing the democracy. And that is why some people, that's one of the things that triggers professionals, loss of human capitals. Because when people are not allowed to express themselves politically, you understand? If you say you put your life on line, then the alternative is
buttressing this whole view. We would say a lot of people are afraid.
Yes,
because of the decree system that the military brings in.
Yes. So military tends towards dictatorship.
So if we would say that, can there be any form of democracy in militarism?
It's our brother, late Honorable Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, that proposed a theory called Daiki.
Okay.
Daiki is a combination of the military and the civilian in government. He suggested it during the series of coups that happened in Nigeria. He was trying to provide a solution to stabilize Nigerian politics. And he came up with that theory, political theory called Daiki. Okay. But it may not work. Even if it is working, I don't know any country that is practicing it. You understand? But it's one of the political theories, Daiki.
We can't achieve democracy in military.
No, you cannot.
We would want to say something of what kind of, will I say, advice should go to the several African nations. And another thing is, I recently discovered out of research that these several countries having these coups, they are all francophone speaking countries.
Yes. No.
Are there any?
Well, I'm not from Niger. I'm not from Gabon, so I don't really know. But there's flying news which I cannot validate here. That one of the primary reasons why this military takeover of government is happening in these francophone countries is because of the way France is imposing herself on those nations.
Is it the policy of assimilation?
Yeah, the costs orchestrated by the policy of assimilation. France is still seeing those countries as an extension of French government. You understand?
So they want to actually break out from them.
For example, I saw something on I think one of these things, a white discussing. They said that one of the agreement that France, I don't know how treaties, one of the agreement that France has with Niger before giving them independence, and similar agreement was cut across other francophone countries, is that their former colonies doesn't have a right to acquire arms
at all
without approval
from France.
Wow. You don't export your products without approval from France.
So rather say they have to.
So you now see that what you give them is verbal independence that it did not translate to economic and political independence. How can you say that I'm independent and I won't have right to form alliance with anybody I want to form alliance? I don't have right to patronize whom I want to patronize. You understand? You can imagine. Okay, look at it. How long has Niger Republic have had independence? No school. And the French government is busy extracting all the natural minerals in Niger Republic, especially the Sorano and others.
Well, with this policy of assimilation, we want to say there is a lot at stake.
Too much.
A lot at stake, and I feel that is one of the major drive at which these people, these nations want a freedom.
Total freedom.
A total freedom from.
That's why you see, I hear ECOWAS galvanizing to go and force to restore the ousted president. See, in as much as we need the legitimate government, but the legitimate government should have the mind of the people.
The people.
Yeah, should know what is of interest to the citizenry and work towards that. If the legitimate government have the capacity, the audacity, and can to free himself, or free the country from the caprices of the colonial grip.
The colonial grip, yes.
They should be allowed. Well, but if it is the military that can achieve that, let them achieve it.
If it is the military
that
can achieve it,
yes,
not minding the fact of their decree rule system.
Yes. Do you know why?
Okay.
You can't imagine yourself in your father's house. You are not allowed to cultivate and harvest crops that nature blessed you with.
Until you get permission. Well, without wasting much of our time, we have really had an amazing time on the show today discussing about the several military coups in Africa. So we are delightable and very welcome to have our doctor in our midst. So I think that would be on the show for today, and we implore you to keep being informed, being updated. Thanks for joining us, and please do stay connected with us on Top Accolade News. Do have a wonderful day.